Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope.
This is an NB13 production.
Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Talking all facts, keeping egos. If you got receipts, brother, bring them to the show. When it come down to it, who to go? All you LeBron James fans, I want smoke. Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Talking all facts, keeping ego. If you got receipts, brother, bring them to the show. When it come down
Yo, what's up, man? Another episode of Everybody Hates Poke. This episode is pretty much, listen, take 1 second and like, share, and subscribe. Please support the channel. Putting a lot of content in and work. But this video is in response to my last video. We talked about these injustices that are happening in Democratic ran cities and how we as a community have turned a blind eye to that. My man, good friend, Melvin Hall, wanted to respond to that. He said, you know, we go back and forth. We come from two different ideologies, and he wanted to respond to that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to give him an opportunity to respond to that. We're going to give him a call and see what Melvin's talking about, man.
Hello.
Man, what's up, man?
What's up, man? What's up?
Ain't nothing, bro. This is Poke, man. You are on the show, man. Just giving a call, man. Checking in, man.
Hey, how everybody doing?
Hey, man. Again, reintroduce you, man. This is my man Melvin Hall representing Alabama. All right, man. So we're gonna get right into it, man. You know, we've been jabbing each other for a couple weeks now over this these politics, man, and voting and things of that nature. I threw something up today, man. I'm talking about all these injustices that's going on in these Democratic ran cities, and from what I understand, man, you want to speak on it.
Yeah, I'm just questioning the rhetoric you say that we stole our vote. I mean, I would never agree of holding a vote.
Okay. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I didn't hear what you said. The last thing I heard is you never agreed to withholding a vote.
Yeah, I just don't understand the rhetoric, how that would benefit our situation by withholding our vote. I've heard the claims against that, but I just don't see how that'll be a rectifiable situation by the blacks withholding their vote and just giving free reign to the Republicans and to the white people. Let's get it just say it like that.
Okay, so let's peel this. There's a lot to unpack. So let's peel this onion back. I'm on record and I'm saying that if we withhold our vote, it would force the Democratic Party to come to us with some degree of honesty. Now, we know that they're never going to come with 100% honesty, but some degree of honesty. Right now, at this point, we're being disrespected. We're being pimped. I just seen a commercial of strippers, a stripper commercial, and they're talking about take your booty to the pole. All right. So the level of disrespect is sky high. They don't have anything in particular to offer us other than getting rid of Donald Trump. So I'm at a point where I want to proudly vote for a candidate that is speaking directly to me. So that the benefit in not voting, the benefit in withholding your vote, is to make the Democrats realize that they cannot win an election without us, and we're not going for their con games anymore. They must give us real candidates.
And I totally agree with you that the Democratic Party cannot win any type of election, or whether local government, federal government, or state government. They cannot win any election without the black vote. At the same time, if you withhold your vote and if you don't vote, you are giving free reign to Republicans to do exactly what they're doing while they got power. Let's look at a couple things that's going on right now. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We in the middle. We got 201. Could be approaching 202,000 a day. Could be averaging about 1,000 a day. Lives lost, and we got a president, Republican president, who is openly having rallies and encouraging people not to wear masks. At the same time, we have RBG. She just passed away, rest her soul. And now they're going to do the same thing that they went against Obama for and try to push. They're going to try to push a new justice, Supreme Court justice in within 60 days. And openly telling you that we're going to do this. And with Mitch McConnell running the Senate and the Republican president, they're going to try everything to do this. Now, if we withhold our vote, who do we have to even attempt to block any of this stuff that's going on? Now, I understand that has nothing to do with racial injustice, two things I spoke on, but at the same time, if we don't vote, even if it's for, and I agree with you. Let's go back 1 second. You talked about Obama in your last thing. You ask anybody that I have ever discussed this with, I agree with you 100%. I don't want just a face. I want somebody that's going to do some. Obama actually did absolutely nothing for black folks.
Nothing.
Zero. Now, he put more legislation for the LGBT community than he ever did for black folks. So I'm not disagreeing with you, but I am not ready to openly say Republicans, y'all can have.
Okay. So, all right, great. So I listened to you carefully. You did drop the pandemic and how the president mishandled the pandemic, and you dropped RBG and how he's pushing another Supreme Court judge in. But brother, I gotta say to you, man, like none of that is a reason for me to forget my fight and my struggle, which is social justice for black people. That I can deal with that. I can deal with that. Like, forget all that. You know, in order for us to get something, man, we gotta be willing to die. We gotta be willing to die. And a lot of times with us, we're not even willing to be uncomfortable. And that's what's going on right now. We're just uncomfortable. And so I'm saying another 4 years of Trump, I wouldn't give a shit. It doesn't scare me one single bit. Give him 4 more years. If I could get the Democratic Party to truly work on my behalf, and if my vote can truly work, I think my ancestors would be proud of that. My children would be proud of that. That's what our kids need. We can struggle for 4 more years, but our kids need a brighter future, don't they?
So you just gonna have to explain to me how 4 more years of Trump gonna push any of our agenda.
How 4 more years is going to push any what?
Any more of our agenda. What is not vote and giving Trump 4 more years? How does that benefit our agenda?
Great, I'm happy you asked me that. There's been one huge benefit of having Donald Trump as the president. And that benefit is black people, and for the most part, people, as you can see with Black Lives Matter, have awakened. There's been an awakening. Now, had Hillary Clinton won, we would have been lulled to sleep still. But because Trump has galvanized MAGA country and his Trumpers, and all of this injustice is in our face, it has forced black people to somewhat unite and be much more socially aware. So 4 more years of Trump will bring us closer together as we realize exactly what's going on. I always tell people this: I'd rather have my racism right up front and in my face, because when it's not right up in your face, Black people have a tendency to get comfortable because we've dealt with so much. When you went from dealing with slavery, you could deal with Hillary Clinton putting you to sleep. You could deal with Bill Clinton putting you to sleep. You could deal with Obama putting you to sleep without asking, wait a minute, time out. We voted. What did we get from that? And we're like, oh, well, shoot, I got a nice car outside. I got a house. We're eating, and that's cool. So what do we gain? We gain awareness, and we gain togetherness and unity, and we gain a fight where we're all engaged. We're actually engaged. We're not comfortable.
So that sounds to me like you're promoting the same thing Trump keeps saying, that he's done most for black folks than anyone, because you are saying, and if I'm hearing you correctly, which I hope I'm not, but I'm pretty sure I am, that we are a stronger people when we're being opposed, and when we fighting back, we're only fighting back because it's open racism now.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I just don't understand that. So, and I heard you also in your opening statement saying that the laws and the legislation don't matter. That matter of fact, I want to put words in your mouth, so I give you an open time to try to explain to me, because I've seen some of your Facebook friends going at you about laws and legislation, and you was totally against it. So I'm gonna let you say what you said, so I won't misquote you.
Okay, great. So what I'm saying about laws and legislation, okay, it's a double-edged sword. So if you go and you look at the Breonna Taylor situation, as the law, you know what? Forget the Breonna Taylor situation because I'm not on point. But what I will go with was something that happened up here in Pittsburgh. There was a young man named Antoine Rose. And Antoine Rose got killed by the police. The police got off. Antoine Rose was supposedly involved in a drive-by shooting. When the police caught up to the vehicle, he jumped out, he ran away, he was running, and he got gunned down. Now, in the law, it says something to the effect that if the police have a feeling that you were in a violent crime, and you run away, you can be shot. Okay? And now that is legislation that they're trying to get changed now, because come to find out, I believe that Antoine Rose was cleared and he wasn't a shooter in no drive-by. So that wasn't really him. So now they want to change the legislation. I get all that. What I'm always trying to say is, these are devils. They are masters. Once you change the legislation, word it perfectly, however you want it to be, they're still going to either just plain flat out ignore it or find a tricky way to sideswipe it. So to me, the issue isn't necessarily rewording legislation. The issue is putting in politicians that can provide justice for us. Because no matter how it was worded, see, someone won, and let's not be convinced that they won. Let's not be convinced that the law was right. Let's not be convinced of that. So what I'm saying is, I'm upset with the Attorney General, I'm upset with the governor, and I'm upset with the mayor, and I'm upset with these high-ranking Democratic officials because I don't hear anything from them. I don't care how it's worded. I don't care what the legislation say. If they use their power and their influence correctly, we're at least going to trial.
Exactly. So now that's the key point. The key point is if they use it correctly. But if they're not there, how do they use it correctly?
If they're not there,
who do we hold accountable? Do we hold a Republican accountable? Now, they're there. Now, this is where you're right at. They need to be held accountable. They need to be held accountable. And that don't mean holding your vote, because it's going to be another young Democrat that's going to come in, and until we find the right candidate, but withholding your vote and just letting the Republicans have it, just to say that, okay, it's open racism, and I'd rather see open racism than to have it snuck up under me. That's not the answer. The answer is finding valuable candidates.
But we haven't found. Listen, the only way to find valuable candidates is to withhold your vote. We're not going to get a valuable candidate by participating in this illegitimate system. We got to figure out how to get what we want, okay? And I have a lot of issues, and we agree on this as far as like just putting a black face in place. But why is it that, a lot of times people will say, well, Poke, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why is it that someone like myself cannot legitimately run and have a legitimate opportunity to win?
Okay, and why can't you? That's the question. My question is, why can't you run and have a legitimate chance to win?
Because the Democrats, let's say that I was a Democrat, right? And I wanted to run with the Democrats. What they would do is they would bring a guy like Cory Booker up to run against me. And because Cory Booker is more polished, because he went to a certain college, because he looks a certain type of way, I wouldn't stand a chance, even with my own people. Because my own people would say, well, Pope can't win it, so we might as well go with Cory Booker. See, the system is set up where a real black person can't win. That's how it's set up.
So let me help you out on that. Because you bring up an interesting point. Okay, Pope, radio, podcast, show host, iron worker, regular citizen. I'm running for Pennsylvania U.S. Senate. Okay, now we bring a polished Cory Booker, somebody who's been a career politician, and you can't whoop him. You can't beat him in an election because of the politics that's already exists, which leads me to my point of more voting, going out and get more younger people to vote, and then teach and train on what you want your candidate to look like, instead of saying don't vote at all. That's where teaching and training come in, and you take these young people, you go to these high schools, and you go to these colleges, and you get these young voters, and you teach them what a Democrat candidate should look like, what you want to see out of your candidate. But to sit down and tell somebody not to vote, it's just giving free reign, and I think it's giving free reign to the Republican Party. Now, I agree with you, and I told you this in private. I agree with a lot of points you make, that these Democratic governors, these Democratic mayors, these Democratic senators, they ain't doing squat. But at the end of the day, instead of telling our people to not vote, let's teach them how to vote.
Brother, when it's important to know this. When I say not to vote, I'm only saying this time. That's it. I'm only saying this time. I voted my entire life, bro. My entire life.
When you voted your entire life, but you telling our kids not to vote.
Wait, what's that?
You voted your entire life, but all of your Facebook posts and most of your statements are telling people to withhold your vote.
Yes.
But there's a total contradiction.
It's not a contradiction, brother. With more information, your opinion should change. You don't keep. That's the issue with us. We just keep doing the same thing out of tradition. You know, your opinion and your actions should always change when your information changes.
100%. I agree with you 100%. You will never get an argument out of them. Our opinion and our actions need to change, but it don't need to by not voting. Period. It needs to change by training and educating our people to vote in certain ways.
Okay.
We need to train. We need to get in these high schools, and we need to get in these high schools and get our young black people into politics and teach them what we want. And that should be trained. We don't have enough education forums within black communities anyway. A lot of people, and I'm not talking about you, but this happens a lot of times, that a lot of people got a lot to say, but don't never gather and educate. Now, if we get a forum, an educational forum to teach our black kids what is needed in this society, to teach them the law, to teach them legislation, but we just sit back blindly talking about what people ain't doing for us. I don't care what the Democratic, Republican, Independent, or nobody's not doing for me. What are we doing for our own self?
Well, let me ask you this. What is it? Okay, I'm going to say two things. I'm going to ask you a question. When you say, we need to get into these high schools and we need to get into these colleges and train our youth, this is what's important for us to understand. Like, certain things always go over our head. These politicians that they are trotting out in front of us have been groomed almost since the day that they were born. A person like Kamala Harris, her going to a black college, that was not by accident. That was an actual plan. Her father does not like, at least her father's tradition and culture and people does not like African American people. Okay? Her mother, her culture and tradition of people don't like African American people. Kamala Harris goes to the black college for a reason. Everyone in the world uses black people for our good, and they diss us and trash us afterwards. Going to the black college was a check on her resume. That's it. Because if you look at her whole entire career, it was anti-black. It was anti-black. She is the top cop. Do black people have a great relationship with cops? No. She has a reputation for sending a lot of black people to jail. But she became black again when it's time to become vice president. This is a trend. This is what they do. So the same thing with Cory Booker. The same thing with Obama. These are not people that have history with being in the hood. These are not. Notice how there are no African Americans that come from Compton, California.
Right, because
they come from Harlem.
We don't go into Harlem. We don't go into city communities and educate.
No, that's not true.
Listen. A lot of these inner city kids don't know no other way. If they can't shoot a ball, catch a pass, throw a pass, or rap, they're gone. Because we're not in our community's teaching. Until we get off our butt and go in there into these neighborhoods and teach our kids how to be politicians. And not only teach them how to be politicians, teach the people who are going to vote for them how to vote for them or what to look for when they're voting. We're going to be in the same boat. We're going to have polished Kamala Harris. We're going to have Tim Walton as Democrats represent what we stand for, and they don't stand for what we stand for. I'm not arguing with you on that point. That's the point I agree with you on. But what I'm telling you is, it's only one way. And to withhold your vote is not the way, because I don't understand. And you have been trying to explain to me, and you've been trying to explain to the people, and there's a lot of people don't understand, but I really don't understand how withholding our vote helps our situation when now we don't even have a voice to pretend that's there. It is straight open season. You got a Republican House, you got a Republican Senate, you got a Republican president, you got Republican governors, you got Republican everything.
What is your fear though?
My fear is, my fear for that is our voice is no longer relevant. We have no voice at that point. Now, just take right now. Just listen to me carefully. And I know this ain't got nothing to do with racial injustice, but it's just an example. If we don't have a Democratic House at this point to fight the appointment of a new Supreme Justice, you see how big the court would be swayed if Trump is just able to push another one through. So that's what I'm saying.
You have a point there.
Have some type of representation at the table. Now, only thing I'm saying with that is what we need to work on as a black people all across America is getting that representation at the table, the right representation at the table. Let's stop settling. This is what me and you agree at, and I'll say this over and over again. Let's stop settling for what's there. What's in front of us. We'll vote for Joe Biden to have his seat at the table, even though in your opinion and in a lot of people's opinion, it ain't the seat we want. Yes, I would love somebody with the ideology of folk at the table. But if I don't have that at the table, I need something at the table.
Why?
Because I just explained to you, we won't have no representation. That means any law and legislation they want to get passed. See, what you understand is these appointments of judges, appeal judges, district and federal level judges, all of that is important to if we ever get to the point where you trying to get us to. All of that is important. But if we got Republicans everywhere because we sitting at home listening to rhetoric about not voting, then we gonna screw ourselves when it's time to make our move. Instead of going into the neighborhood and teaching our kids, going into the college and teaching our kids, that you can do this.
We're in the car together, okay? We're in the car together. We have the same goal. We want to go to the same place, okay? It's my opinion that you want to take the long way and I want to take the short way. See, withholding our vote is the short way. Participating in this is the long way. We have got to come to a point where we look them in their eyes and say, we know our power. So, fuck you. Do whatever you want to do with this fucking country. Because we can do for our goddamn self. Whatever it is that you're asking these politicians to do, they're not going to do it any damn way. So, why don't we just do for our damn self for now? Because
we go past our own legislation.
Listen, I'm saying fuck all that. Fuck it.
It can't be fucking. It can't be fucking. Because once I stand in front of an appeal court judge, or if I'm standing in front of the Supreme Court, it ain't fucking dead.
But Melvin, it can't get no worse. We just seen Breonna Taylor get murdered while sleeping and she didn't get justice. And we've been doing what you said do. See, that's the thing, man.
No, you're not doing what I said do.
Well, we're voting.
No.
We're voting.
No. What I'm saying do, and let's make this clear what my stance is on this situation. I'm saying do is let's educate our community.
On what?
On laws, politics, everything. We need to educate our kids. Make being a court judge more important than being a rapper.
Okay, but how much time is that going to take, Mel? That's why I'm saying you're trying to get to you're taking the long road. Educating our children, that's gonna take a decade at least.
What you're suggesting, you talking about taking a short road on a long road. You're trying to go down the road that leads to nowhere.
No,
you're not gonna never get there with what you're talking about doing.
No, listen. If Trump wins again, the only thing that's going to happen is we're going to have a goofy ass fucking president, and we're going to live with racism. We have 202,000 dead. Okay.
202 more thousand dead.
When Biden comes in, he's not going to fix Corona. That's what. See, oh, man.
You name a Democratic president that allow a pandemic to openly tell you not to wear a mask.
So
when all the Chinese say wear a mask. Like first of all, we need some common sense. We need common sense at least.
But look, I don't switch lanes. I literally have one primary goal and objective, and that's social justice, freedom, equality, and justice for black people.
So you don't think all this stuff work hand in hand?
Hold on. All this Corona and stuff like that, that's a distraction to someone like me. All right, that's a distraction.
So you don't think that coronavirus affects the black and brown communities all over the United States of America? Man, you're killing me.
I do.
You mean to tell me that this coronavirus didn't affect we don't have the proper doctors, the proper health care, and you telling me that this stuff don't tie in together? Is a distraction to you? Come on, man, now you're losing me. This is important. Black and brown communities all over. You don't think that we're struggling trying to make $1 now because of this epidemic, this pandemic? You don't think that that black-owned businesses are not suffering more than white-owned business? The injustice is all throughout. And when I told you in that post this morning, everything involves racism. It's nothing that is within the United States of America that don't involve racism. So for you to say that you just focus on social justice, I'm focused on justice for blacks throughout everything: education, healthcare, houses, everything.
Yes, me too. Me too. But none of that has a damn thing to do with coronavirus. It just that's a separate situation. Coronavirus because coronavirus affects everyone. It affects every country. Coronavirus isn't prejudice, man. It affects everybody.
Okay, so if I'm in Alabama, which I am, you come down here to Mississippi and white people getting ventilators before black people, it don't matter. 1 in 1,020 black Americans that died. Go look at the white. 1 in 2,150. It's a difference, dude.
Okay, so let me peel things back. All right. So number one, as we move forward, it seems as though coronavirus is easing up on its own. Number two, there is a vaccine coming. Number three. This doesn't.
You can talk about number two right quick.
Go ahead.
A vaccine coming. You think blacks gonna be first in line for that vaccine?
They're going to try to make us first in line.
And if it is, it's gonna be a test trial, right?
Yes.
If we, all right. So then you see how everything matters.
Listen, I'm not saying that racism. See, this is why I say it is a distraction. I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist in this situation. What I'm saying is, let's forget Corona for a second and just focus on racism. I'm not focusing on Corona and racism and this and that and this. I'm going to focus on racism and racism alone. Listen, if we agree that racism affects all aspects of our life, then just focus on the racism. That's what we get so distracted looking around I'm focused on racism. I'm telling you what I'm focused on. Okay, so until I see a Democrat that's actually speaking to me about racism, I'm not really tripping off of him. And I'm not tripping off of Trump either. But I know this. I know that we have all the power in the world. So if we have that power, you let me know when the time is to use it. When should we use our power? How long should we wait to say, you know what? I'm not going to participate in your bogus ass system. I'm going to excuse myself from this. Listen, this is the best way I can put it. You're in a relationship with a woman. Okay? You love the woman, you got kids, whatever. This woman keeps cheating on you. When do you say, I'm leaving you? When you get your shit together, then we can work on being a family. But until then, I am leaving you. Or do you just stay and say, I'm just going to raise my kids, I'm going to teach my kids? At some point, if that woman keeps cheating on you, don't you leave?
Yeah.
All right, so that's the relationship that we're in with the Democratic Party. And with them, it's not just cheating. They're beating our ass. They're cheating on us. They don't show us no love. It's everything. There is nothing. Listen, when it comes
let's discuss the scenario you use. if I got a woman that just keep cheating on me, then I leave her and I find another woman because I'm sticking with my kind that's cheating on me too. At what point do I start to go out and look for a woman? Hopefully to go find a woman that someone has groomed to be the woman that I want.
You're complicating things again, brother.
Because that's all I'm saying do. If we keep getting the same old politicians, when do we go groom our politicians to be the politicians that we want?
Oh, okay. No, see, look, I agree with what you're saying, okay? But what I'm saying, brother, is that will literally take time. That's going to take a decade at least. You don't go, that's going to take, we got to start grooming like my son that's only 9 years old for that, okay?
Right.
So that's going to take time. But in the we could do two things at one time, okay? Because when I say withhold your vote, I'm thinking like a political person. I'm not thinking like an irresponsible person. So withholding the vote is, in my mind, voting. But I'm withholding because I know how valuable it is. So in the meantime, we can get started on grooming our own. We can do both. What you're saying is not wrong. A beautiful idea. You're right. But none of it matters until we withhold our vote. Because listen, hold on. Listen, check this out. We could groom our own till we all we want. Okay. The Attorney General down there, what's his name? Daniel something. He's a black man. So this is someone that was groomed, brother. Okay. But this is what we are not putting the pieces together. Hold on.
Yes, he was groomed. That black man that stood up there and said what he said yesterday was groomed. He was groomed to be in a Republican. He might have brown skin, but he don't live a brown life. That is the same man saying he never experienced racism. So let's not use him as an example.
Okay.
That is not what we are talking about. We got him. We got them coons.
You gotta let me finish.
Let's get to it. We got coons.
You gotta let me finish. What I'm trying to say is that is what happens when we do groom someone. This fight.
We didn't groom him.
He got black parents, don't he?
We did not groom him. He was groomed. He's a Trumper. I don't care what color your skin is. You're a Trumper. You was groomed that way. You know that boy ain't come from us. Now let's not do that. Now let's be real. You know. Now I ain't gonna disagree with much, but you know good and well. I don't care if his parents were black, his grandparents were black. Somewhere down the line, that boy was baptized into being a Trump. That boy is a white man in a black body. That's a coon. If you've never seen a coon, there you go. That's a definition. If you ever want to show your children what a coon look like, put a picture of him up there. But let's not act like we groomed that. Now, sometimes I got a stroller disagree.
Hey, bro. Hey, I can't even hold you, man. You're right. You're right about that. You're right. But
to get back to what we were saying, our ancestors, and you was talking about the short wedding boy. Our ancestors fought. And you got to remember, this fight goes back 400 or more years, and the fight still ain't finished. This is not going to be a sprint. It is still not. We're not even to the point yet. But to erase, because the day we start withholding our vote, that is the day we go back, and that's the day they win. That's all they want us to do anyway, is not vote. That's why they made us count watermelon, how many seeds in a watermelon, how many hairs on the head. They never wanted us to vote. But if in the day that we decide to withhold our vote, that is the day that they get what they want.
So what? See, this is what's bothering me. So what? Like, I'm trying to tell you, I am not afraid of them getting what they want. Because I keep telling you, see,
how the hell about you?
You are looking at it as in withholding the vote is irresponsible. I'm trying to say, for 4 years. But what if that produced the candidate that we always wanted? Listen, brother, listen, understand this, man. When a woman is pregnant, that's 9 months of pain. When she goes into labor, that is pain that as men, we don't understand. But what does it birth? Any birth is painful. As black people, we gotta get off of this comfy shit. So what?
That's what we agree at. That's what we agree at. Anything that's birth is pain. So therefore, we need to take our 9 months right here and use these 9 months, and we did use the 9 months as a reference. We're not literally talking about 9 months to raise our generation, our next generation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this is gonna take time. So if you want the short way, you might be on to something for the short way, but I just don't see it. I don't see how withholding our vote help our children accomplish that education when we got Republicans dictating the education. We got an education secretary right now that ain't never taught in a public school. I just don't understand how not voting help us.
I should say something. I need to say something. Okay. As black people, we got to get out of this idea that every idea that Republicans have is racist. Like, I understand and I get that they are racist, but I don't think that they're any more racist than the Democrats. Now, check this out. When you look at Republican policies, a lot of them are good for us. And when you look at Democratic policies, most of them were horrible for us and never a good idea. See, that's the problem, man. Like, we're not really tuned in. Look, okay, I'll explain that. The Democrats introduced welfare to us, okay? Welfare is not good for us. It has hurt us. It's been a huge hindrance to us. Now, when a Republican says that to us, we look at that as racist. But the fact is, and we know this, bro, in every single hood, you know this, we have relied on welfare. There's always the few that genuinely need it. We understand that. But there's far too many that have been lifelong. There is second generation, third generation welfare recipients, bro. That's not good.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
Right.
Now,
but who introduced that to us? And who's keeping that on us?
Wait a minute. Let's get to it. Now, the abuse of welfare is horrible, and it leads to generational abuse of welfare. But the ideal of welfare is not horrible.
The idea, no. The idea is horrible.
Explain to me, you're a single mother. 3 kids. You lost your job. You got nothing, and you need government assistance. Because first of all, don't nobody get more government assistance than white folks. Let's get that out of the way first. Now, nobody gets more than white folks.
That's because there's more white folks.
Tell me that the ideal, not the abuse is horrible, but the ideal of welfare is not horrible.
Listen, the idea of it is horrible because it leads to the abuse. Much like the idea of beer isn't bad. I mean, isn't bad, but abuse is bad. Well, that goes hand in hand. That goes hand in hand. There's enough.
Okay, what about the family who came up off welfare and wouldn't have never been able to pull themselves up to be a legitimate family in society if it wasn't for the start of welfare, who used the welfare, who used financial aid, who used other government assistance to pull themselves up, and now their children don't have to use it.
Okay, so
you have abuse, you get welfare has been used positively too. The abuse is always noted more, because it's another way to look at a black person as lazy and sorry. So we can always put a special impact on the abuse, but we never highlight when welfare works.
Okay. Yeah, because it doesn't work often. See, that's the problem.
We need statistics to show us that is what's been pushed by Republicans and white supremacists since the beginning of the time, that welfare don't work often. All we hear is the negative. I guarantee you, I guarantee you, if we dig deep enough down, and this will be a whole nother show, but I guarantee if we dig deeper down, that welfare has more of a positive impact than a negative impact, but the negative impact is always highlighted, and that's why we think, welfare, we abuse it. No, we don't know how many families.
Listen to me. Listen. This is why I say we gotta start looking at the data, okay? Look, man, if welfare overall works for us, if that's the case, then think about it. Welfare was introduced in the 60s. This is 2020. Okay? I'm sorry. Welfare, I could be wrong on that, but I want to say the 60s or the 70s.
Hey, that's fine. We shooting on top of the head right now.
So it's 2020. So we're approaching 60 years. If welfare was good for us, then at this point, there would be the minority on welfare. That's what I'm trying to say. If it was good for us, and if it was a program that was working, we would look around and the minority would be on welfare, which the minority of us is. What I'm trying to say though is those numbers haven't changed. It's still a huge percentage of our community that's on welfare. It's not working. It keeps you on welfare. That's just common sense. Why would I get off of welfare if I can have a Cadillac outside? I can pay $30 for my rent. But let's talk about. I want to go to that family. You said, what about that family that needs it? Look, if they got rid of welfare today, just no more welfare for y'all, none at all. I would guarantee you that the black community would come together faster than you would ever see. And I will guarantee you that that family that lives next door to me would come over for dinner. And I will guarantee you that we would lean on each other. I guarantee you that men would get out there and become the hustlers that they never ever thought they could be. See, we're way stronger than you know. We can do miraculous and beautiful things. We just got to a point where we're like, oh, we're just needing welfare. No, we just need each other. That's all we need.
I understand, and I just even agree with you on that. If they cut out welfare right now, it'll give us a chance to come together. That can happen. What I'm saying is, I'm tired, and I'm just tired of this welfare food stamp thing, acting like black is the one taking advantage of it. If you go Google these numbers, and I haven't done it yet, I guarantee you a higher percentage of whites are receiving more government assistance than black. I guarantee you.
But I don't care. I'm not talking about them. See, that's the thing. I don't care about their problem. And what I'm saying is, I know what our problem is. Period. And I look back and I say the Democrats did that. And the Democrats are going to keep doing that. And there's a reason why they did it. And all I'm saying is this too. This goes back to me saying we need to hold these people accountable. When as a people do we stop and we say, wait a minute, man, we've been on welfare for 60 years. Is it good or is it bad? It's time for us to have that discussion. Like, forget what you're saying.
We are on welfare.
What's that?
We are on welfare. Welfare is not just for black people.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just talking about us. I don't care about their problem. Bro, that's just like when you was growing up, right? You was growing up in your house, and your mom was like, you cannot go to that dance. You're not going to that dance tomorrow night. And you're like, oh, little Johnny down the street is going. What did your mom say? I don't care about him. You're in this house. That's what I'm saying about, I don't give a shit about white people in their welfare situation.
I understand that, but when you keep saying we are the ones on welfare, you're perpetuating the lie that's being told.
It's not a lie. Too many of us are on welfare today. Too many of us are. That's not no lie. Why do I say too many of us are? Okay? Because the way they set it up is, if your woman, you got kids together. If your woman's on Section 8, she getting welfare, you're not even allowed in the house. Like, how do we get to a point where we allow our woman to get money from white daddy and we're not even allowed to be in the house? And we look at it and say, oh, well, she needs it. Are you kidding me? Both the woman and the man should be, both of them need to be slapped. Because the woman...
Now, that's a different issue, but it's the same issue. Now, that's what we agree on.
Okay.
That's what we agree on. The way they use the welfare. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, this is where I'm going to 110% agree with you. They are using the welfare to break up the family. The black family at that.
Okay. Hold on. And that's Democrats. So
Democrat, Republicans, or anybody else.
No.
They're not limited to nobody. The welfare being used to break up the family is more than Democrats.
Okay, so why can't we?
Let's not stereotype our own race now.
But wait though. But wait.
It is a problem.
But wait a minute though. Why did it take 15 minutes of talking for us to agree that the Democrats gave us this welfare system that is dividing our family? That's not good. I said that 15 minutes ago. That's all I'm saying. I said that 15 minutes ago.
And what I said 15 minutes ago is that let's not use the stereotype that blacks are the only one receiving welfare.
But I don't care about others.
Okay, but the way you say it.
Why would we care? Why would we care about others? Why do we care that they're on it too? Who gives a shit?
I don't care no more about the others than you. What I'm telling you is I'm not going to stand by and let you perpetuate a lie that's always being told. White folks get this more than anybody.
No, listen, I never said that lie. I never said we're on it more than white people. I never said that. But you want to... We got to make that clear. Bro,
that's got to be clear. I
never brought white people into it because I don't care about white people and their situation. I never brought up white people. You brought white people into this for whatever reason. I don't care about them. I only look at my situation. And that's what I don't talk about no people of color. I don't talk about no black and brown. None of that. I talk about black people. Black people. And what's going on with us.
I just don't know how you accomplish that without mentioning others. But hey, if you can do it, man, show me how.
Yeah, so back to all I'm trying to say. We could look at Democratic policies and say that is wrong. That don't make a lot of sense. And I could look at a lot of Republican policies and say that's strong, that's tough. That would be very helpful.
The original statement I made is the abuse of it and how they use it is wrong, but the idea is not.
Yeah, but bro, it's something that is designed to be abused, bro. Listen, that's like you trying cocaine one time. If you try cocaine one time, there's nothing really wrong with that. But we all know that cocaine is designed to be addictive. When you give to people, when you just get, that's designed to be addictive. That's not designed to get up off of it. They don't tell the woman, you're gonna be drug tested. They don't tell the woman, if you have any more babies, we're gonna take this away from you. They tell them, sit right there in this little corner apartment, have all the babies you wanna have, drink, smoke, do whatever you wanna do. Don't have that man in this house, and we got you. Bro, that's not a good idea. That's a horrible idea.
That ain't the original idea behind welfare, so. Like I said, that's all. Like I said 15 minutes ago, that's a whole different show.
Yeah.
What all I'm saying is that withholding our vote is not the answer, not the immediate answer or the long-term answer to our problem.
So we should never withhold. So we should never withhold our vote ever.
No.
Then then the vote is not powerful. It isn't valuable. And when they know, listen, if they know if they know that we think like that, that's why they trot out bullshit for us. And I'll go back to the hold on. I'm gonna go back to the story about the cheating wife. All right. If that woman knows that you will never leave her no matter what, she is going to shit on you and make your life miserable. That woman or that man, whatever the relationship is, has to know that there is consequences and that person may leave me. Anything that you have of value should be withheld sometimes. I don't care what it is. You don't just give away something valuable. You just cheapen the value of the vote by saying never withhold it. Think about it for a second. If you're the Democrat,
I've thought about it for a second. This is what I got to say.
If you're the Democratic Party,
this is a direct answer to the question you used about the woman. If a woman continue to cheat on me, and I leave her and I get another woman who's doing the same thing, at what point do I find a way to find a woman that has been groomed to the ideology that I have that would not do this to me? That's where we got to get.
You're changing the narrative. I'm only talking about withholding or leaving. That's it. Now you want to, if I find another one to do, you're
that's
trying.
exactly what you need. That's exactly what I'm telling our people to do. And that's what I've been saying.
But I agree with you on that. I'm just saying that's going to take a decade. And also, this should be noted, okay? We can groom our kids all we want, but if you're grooming your kids to be in their fucking system, then they gonna do what they tell them to do, or they just won't be a part of the system.
That's where the education part come in at.
Listen, brother. Education. Let's say that they are greatly educated. They went to Harvard. They went to Yale. They did everything.
That ain't the answer.
Wait, they've been groomed. They've been groomed. You said grooming. They've been groomed.
They've been groomed. If you're going to Harvard and Yale, you're being groomed. You're being groomed the way groomed politicians are now. That ain't what I'm talking about.
Okay, what college you want them to go to? What college you want them to go to?
I want them to. It ain't about what college they go to.
Okay, brother. So look, you're being. Hold on. Time out.
Hold on. Let me finish. Make my point. All of these schools are teaching exactly what we are trying to not do. They're teaching American history. They're teaching all kind of academics that has nothing to do with what we need as a community. All I'm saying is that we need to be doing, what we need to be teaching is what we want our kids to understand, not the rhetoric that's being taught in these schools now. If you go to Harvard, you got to deal with U.S. political this, and they teach you all the history of U.S. politics.
All right, look, I got to cut you off. Look, so what college would be ideal for this groomed kid to go to?
Whatever college is teaching African American literature.
They do that at Yale. They do that at Yale.
African American politics. We got the reason that they together because the curriculum ain't even been created on what we need. Then what school? We need to create our curriculum.
Listen, brother. What school is ideal for this groomed kid to go to?
So obviously you're not understanding my answer to your question.
You said as long as they're teaching African politics, African literature, and things of that nature. I hear you. I'm simply asking you for a name of a school.
I just told you that the curriculum has not been created on what we need.
Okay, so now.
So how can I do that don't carry a curriculum than what we need?
Okay.
That's what black folks need to be doing.
Okay, so now your plan involves grooming a kid that doesn't even have a college that he could go to.
See, once again, let's not try to change my narrative. What I'm telling you is, and I want anybody that listens to understand, until black folks get into their community, and this ain't about a college. when we start our own schools and start our own curriculum, that's what we have been buried by this curriculum that's been created for us already. So you keep asking me for a school. I'm not going to say a HBCU or Harvard or Ivy League, none of them, because none of them took the curriculum we need for change. That's the problem.
Okay, so hear me out. I told you a half an hour ago that your way was the long way, okay? Now, any politician that we're going to take seriously does need a college education. So once we groom this kid, hold on, let me finish. Once we groom this kid as a youngin', now our issue is finding universities that has the correct curriculum that we need this kid to have. And right now, that doesn't even exist. So again, bro, I agree with you, but that's the long way, and that will take decades. That's not a short-term solution. We gotta find a school. We gotta find a curriculum. That don't even exist right now.
Exactly. That's why we create our curriculum.
Okay, but that's going to take decades. Bro, I'm 41. That might not happen until I'm 60. That's what I'm trying to say. I know, I agree with what you're saying, but just know that's the long route. That's going to take a very long time. So what do we do in the short route? We withhold our vote.
There's a lot of things that we can do, but the one thing we can't do is withhold our vote.
All right, brother. Hey, I'm gonna give you the last word, man. I'm gonna give you the last word, bro.
Okay, man. Hey, George, like I told you in private, man, that I don't disagree with you. I disagree with the way we get there. Like you used the reference short way, a long way. It's a couple different ways to get there, but at the end of the day, it takes a baby 9 months to mature. And if you don't fully mature, if they don't go to 4 9 months, the chances of survival become limited. So we got to be able to work to stand the test of time to get through this. But it won't be a short way. It ain't been a short way, and the short way won't work now. So enjoy the show. Enjoyed lending my opinion on different matters, and look forward to speaking with you again.
Likewise, man. Thanks for your time and your investment, brother. Very great ideas, man. We're gonna do this again, man. I gotta get you back on the show, man. We gotta talk some football, something a little lighter, man. Talk about the Ravens, man. But I'll get you back on, bro.
Yeah, I think week 7 we need to have a build up to the week 7 matchup. I think both of us will be undefeated that time, and it'll be interesting.
My man. All right, brother. Have a good one, man.
All right, you too.
Yeah. Man, that was a good discussion, man. But you know, it's important, man, that when you have these discussions, man, we really gotta slow down a little bit and think things through, because really at the end of the day, man, we were in agreement. We just wasn't in agreement about withholding a vote. He is not for withholding a vote, and that's cool. But really, we're in agreement. We're in the same car, and we want to go to the same exact place, man. And that's it, man. I don't want to say anything after he said. I promised him the last word. I want y'all to like, share, subscribe. If you guys made it through the whole hour, that is awesome. I'm not going to edit anything out because that was just too authentic. I'm not editing anything out, man. A lot of times, man, you know, we got to take time and pay attention, man. All right? Hey, man, I'm out, man. Like, share, and subscribe.
This is an NB13 production.
Everybody